Hi everyone, how are you all? I hope you've all had a great first week back of term 4. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about Jonah. This story is by our good friend Heather Fenwannen, who wrote and illustrated it. But don't get too comfy in your seats because I want all of you to jump up and do some actions with us. The actions are easy and you can watch my mum Sarah who will show you the actions. So let us begin the story of Jonah. Chapter 1. God spoke to Jonah. Go and preach in the great city of Nineveh. Go and preach against the great wickedness of the great city. But Jonah was not sure he wanted to obey God, for the city of Nineveh was great indeed. Instead of obeying God, Jonah ran away to the port of Joppa. There was a ship at the dock which was going to the town of Tarshish. Tarshish was nowhere near the great city of Nineveh. But Jonah decided that it is where he would go to flee from God. Jonah paid his fare, climbed aboard, and sighed aloud. Phew! He thought he'd fled from God altogether. But little did he know that God knew exactly where he was. Jonah was so relieved and so relaxed that he went to sleep below deck, oblivious to the incoming calamity that was about to happen. The ship set sail for Tarshish, heading out to sea. But all of a sudden, God sent a violent storm with a tremendous wind. There was lightning and thunder. The rain bucketed down. The waves were so strong they battered the ship and nearly tore it to pieces. The sailors were running around calling out to their own God to help them, but that calling was just wasted on deaf ears. The sailors threw all the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship, but that proved to be unsuccessful. The captain hollered out to everyone to man the boat. Man the boat! Hold down the sail. Hold down the sail! Harness the rudder. Harness the rudder! And hang on for your life. Hang on for your life! When the captain realized that Jonah was still asleep below deck, he was furious. How can you possibly sleep during all this chaos? Get up and at least call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us so we will not perish. The sailors did not know what to do or who to blame, so they decided to cast lots to try and figure it out. As expected, Jonah drew the short straw, and so they bombarded him with questions. Who are you? Where do you come from? What do you do? And who caused this to happen? Jonah answered them, I am a Hebrew and worship the Lord. I worship the God of heaven who made the sea and the dry land. With great terror in their hearts, the sailors questioned Jonah again. What have you done? And what can we do to make the sea calm again? It is my fault because I ran away from the Lord my God, and it is my fault that this great storm has come upon you. Jonah sighed a sigh of regret. You must pick me up and throw me into the sea. The sailors were so perplexed at Jonah's suggestion and tried desperately to row the boat back to land, but the storm grew wilder than it had done before. In desperation, they all cried out to God, please don't hold us accountable for Jonah's life. And then, without hesitating, they picked him up and threw Jonah overboard. At once, the sea became calm. The sailors believed in God, and Jonah began to sink. Jonah sank down into the deep, dark water. Jonah was afraid. But God had not abandoned Jonah. God had a plan to rescue Jonah. God sent a great, big, enormous, humongous, tremendous fish to gulp, swallow Jonah up. Into the fish went Jonah, and Jonah was safe and alive.
That end. What? Wait a minute. The story can't end there. Oh, it's okay. That was just chapter 1. There are 3 more to go. Phew. Well then, let's review what we know of the story so far. In the first chapter of Jonah's story, we discover that Jonah has tried to run away from God. But we know we can't run away from God. God is everywhere. God made the sea and the land. God made Jonah, the Ninevites, and the huge fish. So if you travel to the moon, God is there. If you travel to the bottom of the ocean, God is there too. God is everywhere. But what do you think will happen to Jonah next? How long will he stay inside the giant fish? Will he obey God? And what about the Ninevites? Will they repent of their sins? I guess you'll have to wait until next Sunday to find out. Or you can read it for yourself in the Bible. If you want to go check it out, the story of Jonah is in the Old Testament part of the Bible. So goodbye for now, until next week.